everybody. This is your girl, Edwonda White.
And I'm Margot Evans.
And I'm Rochelle Truby.
And we are Three Black Girls Talking. Three Black Girls Talking is just a little show that's just been taking off, and you guys have been watching it. And don't forget to subscribe and tell a friend. But Three Black Girls Talking is just three of us talking that have been friends for years and years and years. And today we're going to talk about something interesting. Now, we noticed that people don't want to be themselves anymore. They always want to be somebody else or admire somebody else's life, or, you know what I'm saying? And I like being myself, but I asked the question, and I'm going to ask this question of Rochelle. Start thinking about what you want to answer, Rochelle. But all of you out there, think about it. If you could trade lives or live the life of somebody living or dead, who would it be? And why do you admire their life? And why would you want to live their life just to see what it's like? Rochelle, I'm going to ask you, who would you want to be, or whose life would you try to live to understand like what they went through or something like that? Like, who?
I thought about this question when you had asked it, and I was like, who could it be? And then it popped in my head, Harriet Tubman. And when I was a little girl and we were studying about Harriet Tubman, the only thing I ever known about her is that she did the Underground Railroad and she freed the slaves. And then when I saw the movie about her, I got very interested because she was such a strong woman of faith. Oh my God, her faith in God could move mountains. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see that movie. And you know, sometimes we get tired of those regular slavery movies, but the movie is so much more. It really, whoever did the job of that movie, whoever wrote that movie or produced it, they did an excellent job of portraying her, because it was a history lesson for me. You know, just showing that how strong of a Black woman she was, her faith in God. I mean, she really and truly loved God, and she put all her trust and faith in Him. And so it caused me to start Googling her. So I Googled her to find out more information about her. And she was illiterate, but she was very, very smart. Like, she found cures with chicken pox and some other cures. And she was one of the first Black women to ever lead a infantry, a Black soldier infantry, you know, and we all know that she freed the slaves, and she ended up living well into her 80s. I mean, God really put his hand on her life, because she went through so much, and just the fact that she helped free the slaves, I mean, it's just amazing to me, and I really admire that. So if I could go back and take on her life, I mean, I like my life now, don't get me wrong, but if I had to do so, Harriet Tubman would be the person that I really admire. What do you think?
That's a good one. That's a good one, mm-hmm. Because, you know, I don't know if I could have lived that life or anything, because probably was very tough. And and the movie, of course, kind of sugarcoated a lot of things that probably really happened, because, you know, they didn't want to get into, you know, the grid of what really happened and how people did her and stuff like that. But her story is fascinating. So I get that. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what about you, Margot?
So I admire being a newer comedian. I've been doing comedy for 7 years. Other than my girlfriend Edwonda, I admire Monique the comedian, because when I was growing up, I didn't know that I wanted to be a comedian as I was growing up. I knew that I was funny, but I did not see anyone that was like me, meaning a full-figured person. Back in the day, even Edwonda, back in the day when you were on Comic View and all that, y'all was like sexy with with your heels on.
Okay, I could get back to them days.
Yeah, some more heels. You know, y'all had your nice outfits on, and Black female comedians, y'all looked very, not saying that we don't dress and look nice now, but for someone like me, that's a full figure woman, I didn't see that, I didn't see that person on TV. And then Monique came out, and I was like, ooh, okay, this this is something that I see, but I still didn't want to be a comedian at that time, but I knew it was possible. I know the possibility was there. And then as I, just started admiring her from there and watching the movies and seeing her on stage and just different things that she did, it made me want to say, okay, you know what, Margot, you can do this. Like, you can really do it. If you go out there, people always tell you, you're funny, you should be a comedian. As I was an adult, and then thinking back to Monique, I'm like, yeah, well, maybe, maybe I can. Let me figure this whole thing out and then do it. And I've done it. And she is a person that I admire, getting out there. She looks really good now. Like,
yeah,
she looked good then, but she looked good. I watch her on IG all the time, and I be wanting to do them dances and stuff that she be doing. And I'll be like, okay, I'm not there yet, but she looks good. She looks really good. So that is somebody that I would admire. If I can just jump into her life for a minute and just see how it felt, that would be someone that I would select.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah. A really good one. There's so many women, and I'm glad that we chose women. We said anybody, and we all chose women, so that's great. There's so many great women that I admire, but if I wanted, I'm fascinated by certain people's lives and how much power they had over things. So I have two, and my first one that I would choose, living or dead, someone I would live in their lives, live in their shoes, and see how they really live. My first one is Cleopatra.
Ooh, okay.
Now, they always want to say, that Elizabeth Taylor was Cleopatra, but Cleopatra didn't look like nothing like that. It was a black woman, and they was sprung on this woman. I'm talking about Mark Anthony and Ptolemy and them. They was fighting over that. You hear me? He had game, and not only that, it was it was Caesar, right? Caesar was supposed to be gay, and the only one who turned him not gay to where he fell in love with Cleopatra and had a baby was with Cleopatra. Okay, so I'm thinking like, what is all the hype about? What kind of game do Cleopatra got, right? And on top of that, I'm thinking, I can't imagine how beautiful she must have been. She must have been some African goddess or something. You can't even imagine what she looked like. But I'm talking about Mark Anthony and Ptolemy was so mad at her that they literally erased her from history. At first, you know what I'm saying, she married to the king. So Ptolemy, had her, pictures everywhere. You know how to do those stone things of your face and all that. At first, it was Cleopatra, everything, right? And then she messing around with Mark Anthony. I guess he went off to war somewhere, whatever, and then she came back and got him, and he got sprung. And they was like, hey, who, you want to be with me or you want to be with him, right? And then she was like, I don't want to choose. I just be with both of y'all. They were like, you ain't finna be with both of us. No, you ain't. You about to make a choice or you gonna get up out of here. So they ran her up out of there, and she was like, forget y'all, I'll go live with Caesar then. And she stayed with Caesar for like years, messing around with him while she was still married to the other dude. And the other dude was like still waiting for her to be like, can you just pick me? Can you just pick me, right? All of them got so mad at her that nobody ain't found Cleopatra yet. They buried her up under somewhere. I don't know. When you go to the exhibit, because I went to the exhibit of Cleopatra at the, you know how they have that down there by USC? They had a little museum or whatever. They had a little exhibit at the, by the Science Center. And in Cleopatra's little thing, all they have is her jewelry and stuff. You ain't gonna find her, okay? She don't have no tomb nowhere. They buried her under that city. They was like, we tired of you. All of us sprung on you and you can't make no choice. But all of them were really in love with her, and she controlled a lot of things because of her beauty. So that's my one, right?
Okay.
My other one is the Queen Bee, Beyonce.
Oh,
nobody would think I would say that, but I'm just so fascinated about her life. You know what I mean? It's very interesting life. I'm sure she has a lot of sadness. I'm sure she has a lot of bad things that goes with being her. She's very beautiful, very talented. She's married to Jay-Z. A lot of pressure. I don't know if days, I wonder about her life. I wonder if sometimes she's really sad and nobody understands because I mean, what's it like? I mean, I don't know anything about that type of fame to where people really go crazy when they see her. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's fascinating in itself. And there's been other people that are great, but I really think Beyonce and Cleopatra, they two divas. You know, I don't look nothing
Mhm.
like Beyonce or nothing like that, and I don't know if I can handle her life or nothing, but I would like to take a sneak peek
Yeah.
and would be a day in the life and see what she
Yeah.
be doing and who she
Yeah.
really be talking to and what she really talks like and who
Mhm.
she really in a day talks to. You know what I mean? When you're at that level, it ain't no telling who is she dining, having cornflakes with princes and you know, is she just or is she just sitting there eating some sunflower seeds, you know, or whatever, right?
Right,
You
right.
wonder, like
Right.
she's a Texas girl,
Yep.
so she might just be like us and just be sitting in her
Chilling.
shorts and her crop top,
Right.
eating some sunflower seeds like we be doing. You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
she might really be getting some dinners or eating stuff we never heard of before. You know,
Mhm.
and we don't know if they lift her up and carry her to the bathroom every time she goes. We don't know if she go to the bathroom on gold toilets or whatever. We don't know. It's interesting to think about though, right?
Yeah, very,
Yeah.
very
Okay, so
interesting.
those were my two. So we're gonna have final words on who we admire and why, and then we're gonna go. So everyone admires someone for whatever reason, or everyone's fascinated by different people's lives. But don't forget or lose yourself. I don't want to be a Beyonce. I don't want to be Cleopatra. Let's
Right.
understand. I want to be me. But is she fascinating? And do I wonder about her life? Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. And Michelle Obama, I wonder about hers too. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't pick her because I can imagine what her life is like because she kind of puts her life out there. She wrote the book and she
Mhm.
lets you pretty much know what her deal is, but her too. Okay, so
Mhm.
that's a good one
Yeah.
to be a day in the life, especially being married to Barack. I would love being, you know, when
Right.
I'm already married. Don't get me wrong, Michelle. Don't get mad. Don't
All
get
right.
mad, girl. But you already know your man is fine, and he was the
Right.
That
most powerful
part.
man in the world. So I ain't the only one who
That's
thinking that. So
so
forget
too.
y'all if y'all lying.
Okay.
So Margot is gonna give you final words and acknowledge that we are women that support women. And this is awesome on Three Black Girls Talking. So Margot's gonna close us out with her final words, and then Rochelle's gonna give hers.
Yep. So I mean, again, I do admire Monique. I admire so many female comedians. Monique just happened to be my number one because it's tough. It is a hard job to do as females. Comedy is a male sport. We have a lot of male comics, all different colors and shades and shapes. But when it comes to female comics, it's just like, you know, it's just a few. It's a lot of us out there, but it's not as many that's seen. And to have somebody that looks like me, and I feel like I can, you know, have that person to look at to inspire me. Monique is that person. So I'm glad that in this lifetime or in this career that I've created for myself, I had someone I had Monique to look at. What do you say, Rochelle?
Well, you guys both chose wonderful women. I really like Monique too, and when she played that role of Precious Mom, I'm telling you, she did such an excellent job on that role. I was mad at her for like a week or two because she did. I mean, she played that role. I mean, she deserved every last penny or whatever you want to say of that Oscar. She deserved it. She did such a beautiful job playing that role. I mean, even though I didn't like her in that role as a, you know, because how she treated Precious, but she did such a wonderful job of playing that role. But you guys both, I love Beyonce too. Beyonce is a beautiful person and inside and out, and it just would seem fascinating to be her for the day. Man, can you imagine like what she go through throughout the day? Just one day, just to be in her shoes. She's just got so much things going on. So, you know, it is fun to imagine. I mean, like I said, Harriet Tubman really inspired me as a you know, as a person and a true woman of God and stuff. And I was like, man, if I could just have just that little bit of faith, man, just imagine what can happen, you know. So it's a good thing. I'm glad we talked about this subject today, Edwonda, because it's nice to be able to imagine being somebody else just for the day, like you said.
Yeah.
Not that we don't love ourselves, because we love our selves, and we're thankful of who we are and all the things that we've done. But it's just fun just to imagine, So what do you think, Edwonda?
I just want to say that I would not want to be any other person but me. But like you said, it is fascinating and interesting to think about how other people live their lives. The people the people we should admire the most are our mothers, our aunts, our older sisters, the prayer warriors, and the people out there that are doing positive things in the community that help children and that help other people like that. And so I admire those people as well. But this topic today was just a fun topic. I just wanted to see what you would say. And with Margot, I'm very surprised that it was Monique that you chose. You know what I mean? Because I never knew that.
Yeah.
And so that's a great. And then I was very surprised at your answer too, Rochelle, that you said Harriet Tubman. If anybody would have asked me what you were gonna say, I never would have thought that you were gonna say that. And that's a really good one. So you guys out there, you think of who you admire and think about for a minute what it would be like to live in their shoes. And that's something really fun to think about and something really fun to do. Don't forget to like and subscribe and support Three Black Girls Talking. And we, again, are Three Black Girls Talking, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Three black girls talking. Three black girls talking.